The next situation occurs during a routine Ukrainian drone patrol near the contested Pokrovsk area. While flying along a dirt road, the drone detects a group of Russian soldiers traveling by motorcycle. As the formation moves forward, the aerial system quickly closes the distance and targets the last vehicle in the group, engaging it under continuous observation. The next development is recorded by a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone over a snow-covered field near the front line. A Russian soldier is seen repeatedly throwing objects upward, initially appearing to practice or test his reach. Moments later, a Ukrainian drone passes overhead, suggesting the gestures were an attempt to drive the aircraft away rather than training. The drone maintains position above the soldier as he continues trying to deter it by throwing stones, without effect. After several attempts, fatigue and frustration become visible. The soldier eventually lies down in the snow, remaining still. The drone then circles back, confirms the position, and carries out the engagement under continuous aerial observation. The footage, recorded by a Ukrainian drone, shows a Russian soldier traveling on a motorcycle along a narrow trail across open terrain. The movement ends abruptly after the rider strikes a mine, bringing the motion to a halt. The scene unfolds along a dirt road near an active contested area. A Ukrainian drone detects two Russian soldiers moving together along the route. When they reach a junction, both notice the approaching aircraft and split up in different directions. One soldier runs toward a nearby tree for cover, but the drone tracks the movement and intercepts him before he can take shelter. The next situation unfolds near an abandoned railway line outside Pokrovsk. A Ukrainian drone detects two Russian soldiers fleeing from a dirt road, crossing the tracks, and taking cover inside an abandoned railcar nearby. The drone follows their movement from above and quickly closes in, engaging the position under continuous aerial observation. The following event is recorded by a Ukrainian grenade-dropping drone operating in a leafless forest area, inside a roofless, ruined building. The drone detects a Russian soldier resting against a wall near the doorway. It is unclear whether the soldier had been conducting activity at the location or had simply stopped to rest. After maintaining observation and reassessing the surroundings, the drone confirms the position. Once the assessment is complete, ammunition is released toward the corner of the structure, concluding the sequence under continued aerial surveillance. The following incident occurred some time ago and was recorded by a Ukrainian drone, with the footage only now being released. During a routine patrol in a heavily contested forested area near Pokrovsk, the drone flies at low altitude while scanning the terrain. Beneath a tree, two Russian soldiers are observed resting without active security. After confirming the position from above, the drone moves in and carries out the engagement under continued aerial observation. The following event is recorded by a Ukrainian drone during a recent patrol in a contested area in the Pokrovsk direction. While scanning a dirt road running alongside a riverbank, the drone detects subtle movement on the opposite shore. As it moves closer to investigate, the figures are identified as Russian soldiers preparing to cross toward the near side. Their movement is clearly visible from above. With the position confirmed, the drone quickly adjusts its approach and closes the distance. An engagement follows shortly afterward, preventing the soldiers from completing the crossing and ending the sequence under continued aerial observation. The following incident is recorded by a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone operating over a forest strip occupied by Russian forces. The footage shows a group of Russian soldiers setting up a position inside the tree line, unaware they are being observed from a distance. Shortly afterward, a Ukrainian drone approaches and engages near their location. The sudden action causes the group to scatter in panic. One soldier breaks away and chooses a tree as cover, attempting to remain concealed. As the drone closes in, He throws his rifle toward the aircraft in a last effort to deter it, but the attempt has no effect. The sequence highlights how surprise and limited cover can quickly disrupt positioning efforts once aerial surveillance is established. The following rare situation is captured by a Ukrainian drone during aerial monitoring. A Russian soldier is seen moving across open ground while carrying a stretcher. As a drone approaches at low altitude, he abandons the stretcher and attempts to flee. But the effort is unsuccessful. The next scene shows a Ukrainian drone positioned in concealment near two intersecting dirt roads. Moments later, two Russian soldiers, moving with difficulty and showing signs of injury or exhaustion, pass directly in front of the drone and are engaged within seconds. Shortly afterward, another soldier resting nearby on the ground is detected from above and also engaged. The following incident unfolds near the Pokrovsk direction and is recorded by Ukrainian aerial surveillance. A Russian soldier is first observed climbing out of a trench and attempting to cross an agricultural field, where a drone quickly identifies and engages the movement. Nearby, another soldier emerges from a tree line into open ground but is intercepted shortly after leaving cover. Moments later, two additional soldiers appear near a cluster of ruined residential buildings and are also detected from above. In a separate moment, a soldier briefly exposes himself near the doorway of a damaged house, only to be followed by a drone entering through a window. Further away, another soldier, distracted while gathering wild fruit, is detected and engaged, highlighting how routine activity remains visible under persistent aerial observation. The following incident takes place across an open grassy field near an active contested area. A Russian unmanned ground vehicle equipped with an automatic weapon is observed moving across the terrain. A Ukrainian drone approaches and carries out an initial engagement, causing visible damage and light smoke, but the vehicle remains partially operational. From above, the situation is reassessed. Shortly afterward, a second Ukrainian drone is redirected toward the same location. After confirming the vehicle's position and condition, the follow-on drone closes in and completes the engagement, rendering the system inoperable. The sequence illustrates how layered drone responses are used to address unmanned threats once they are detected in exposed terrain. The following compilation brings together moments that occurred some time ago and have only now been assembled for release. The footage focuses on rare sequences captured just seconds before Ukrainian drones close in on isolated Russian soldiers moving alone in the Pokrovsk area. Some clips show sudden engagements where individuals have little time to react. Others capture attempts to hide, blend into the terrain, or use improvised camouflage in fields, tree lines, and damaged structures. In several moments, soldiers try to drive the drones away by throwing objects upward or making abrupt movements, while other scenes show hurried retreats across exposed ground. There are also instances of hesitation, fatigue, and brief lapses in attention that prove decisive under constant aerial observation. Rather than emphasizing impact, the compilation highlights behavior, decision-making, and reactions in the moments leading up to contact. Together, these sequences illustrate how solitary movement and delayed awareness offer very limited margins once drone surveillance is established around Pokrovsk. The following sequence takes place in a forested area near Lyman and is recorded by a Ukrainian drone. One Russian soldier attempts to drive the aircraft away using his weapon, but the effort has no effect. Nearby, another soldier runs repeatedly around the base of a tree, unable to break contact. A third abandons his motorcycle and tries to flee on foot, but is still tracked. Close by, a soldier hiding beneath a tree is also detected. Another panicked individual stumbles while running and fails to escape. Even a soldier sheltering inside a trench is identified. Others remain motionless or resting, unaware of the aerial presence, and are engaged in turn under continued observation. The next incident takes place at night across an open field near the Pokrovsk area. A Ukrainian drone equipped for aerial drops hovers at altitude, monitoring a Russian soldier moving through the darkness. Using steady observation, the drone confirms the soldier's position before releasing a munition that lands nearby, causing him to fall. The drone remains overhead, reassesses the situation, and conducts a second drop shortly afterward. The sequence concludes with the soldier no longer able to continue movement, illustrating how nighttime aerial surveillance and precision drops can be used to track and engage isolated movement in open terrain.